I worked at a bookstore called Fireside Books in Palmer, Alaska, a little independent bookstore. And I had gone to work there with hopes of having more time and energy to spend on fiction writing. And I'd been working on a different novel for, I think, about 4.5 years. When I came across, it was just a little scholastic children's picture book. It was actually called The Snow Child, and it told the story of the Snegorotchka fairy tale, which is that, real simple storyline of an old man and a woman who can't have a child, and they build a little girl out of snow, and she comes to life. And I read it just standing there in the bookstore, and it really was sort of a lightning bolt moment. I thought, oh, this is the story I want to tell. And I felt kind of flaky to abandon this novel that I had put so much time into, but I couldn't stop thinking about the new idea. And so finally, I don't know how long it was, I was doing a little research, and eventually I thought, okay, this is where my heart is now. And so then that's when I wrote it. I think there's a lot of really wonderful books out there that just don't get the lucky breaks. And so things like having a really fabulous agent, having people like you who have helped promote it. But then when I do that, my husband always says, but you wrote a story, you had to write the book. And so I appreciate that very much of you saying that. It means a lot to me, absolutely. The Wolverine River that I invented in The Snow Child, there are some Wolverine rivers in Alaska, but what I did is I kind of used some of the rivers I really do know, and I invented my own place so that I wouldn't be tied to a real geography, a real history. I could kind of do whatever I wanted to. So now I'm going back farther in time on this invented river to the 1800s on a military expedition up into the heart of Alaska with the premise that sort of the indigenous mythology is alive and occurring as these men venture into Alaska. So I'm still exploring with the fantastical elements, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm having a good time with it. I think probably the biggest change in my life is now I'm getting to do for a living what I love to do, which is just amazing. And so I think that's my career life, my job, workday life is vastly different. And it means getting to travel and meet readers and go to bookstores and libraries. So that part of it is very different. And it also means that now during the day, that's my job. Like I'm at home, and sometimes I feel a little guilty because it feels like, should I be doing a real job? Like I'm just allowed to sit here and think about the story and write it, and so that's amazing. And at the same time, my life is very much, thankfully, the way it's always been. And I had that kind of flash when I had gotten word that it was a Pulitzer finalist, and then I think the next day I was out cleaning out our chicken house and dealing with messes in the yard, and I thought, oh, well, I guess my life is a lot the same still, and that's a good thing. It's very grounding that way, absolutely.